Coming to you straight from the Rio Grande and beyond. Broadcasting to the four corners of the globe. So grab your seat, your coffee, or your sundowner.
Okay, everybody, here we go.
On point, as always. This is Gloves Off. Gloves Off.
Back at you in Gloves Off. I'm Professor Buitrón. Today I have an icon of the Filipino martial arts in the East Coast. Gat Puno. Are we doing good?
Yes. Gat Puno Abon Baet. That's my name. Thank you.
And
I know it's new.
We've been friends for a long time, and we can always. Well, anyway, the reason is we're both chefs, so we have this fun humor. But we're going to touch base on the martial arts and what's happened. And number one, our condolences to you and the family of Gat, and you have our sincere condolences. Okay.
Thank you very much.
And this last year was rough on everybody, and it is still going. And as we were talking before, it's been very rough on the martial arts in general. A lot of martial arts schools have been obliterated. They're no longer around. And they're not going to come back.
No.
That's the problem.
Yeah. But we're trying to build, and we are gonna encourage a lot of new guru to step up and build a new group, or build a new school. And we will help them out how to do it, and we'll go from there, because that's all we can do is help each other out. We will also build the organization again, connected to other organizations, because we cannot just focus on ourselves. We have to start connecting to others and really help out each other.
You're absolutely correct. And the reason I say that is because and martial arts is very, there's a lot of characters within all the different styles, and there's a lot of different personalities, and a lot of people want to be secluded to themselves. And when you do that, you exclude yourself from the rest of the world. And what happens? Something happens, nobody's going to extend their hand to help you. And we live in a world that we've always had to help each other, and more so now after this pandemic. And here in Texas, there's a lot of schools that will never come back again, period. And let me put it to you this way: Savat was a rarity in martial arts, just per se. Okay. And with this pandemic, there's only 2 schools left. So you're like, you know what I'm saying? What's going on, guys? Let's start moving. And told some of our instructors that they all came. They said we couldn't keep our doors open. Had a huge meeting with all of them. We lost it. They lost the schools. There were some of them were subleasing to another martial arts school, and that martial arts school went down, and they themselves go under. And I said, but right now it's time to rebuild. I understand.
Yep. I'm trying to also connect with all of the MMA school that, add on to their program, the weapon programs. I cannot, because I don't want to go saying, hey, let me add another empty hand program to your program. So what I'm trying to do is connect with all of the local MMA first, and see if they can add a weapons program in their school. And I hopefully, they're open to that kind of, idea, because all we can do is suggest. We cannot really enforce. So we could help each other by doing that to step up again. Jiu-Jitsu group right here is really strong in South Florida, but they're really not to the point that embracing other martial art in their school. But I have found too that interested to look at the program and see. Another one that we are looking at is trying to get the fitness gym, which is the CrossFit. I know that there's a lot of CrossFit that closed up, during the pandemic, but now they're opening up again. And I'm talking to one of the owner of the CrossFit right here by me, and I suggest maybe I could combine once a week and give a little demonstration to those interested, and maybe finally hoping to open up an hour that they can, share our Filipino martial art program. So that's what we're trying to do. And I encourage all of my student and representative to be proactive, especially at this situation. We are ending up the pandemic, and hopefully we're ending up. We will make sure that we are going to be on our feet again after this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Here, like I said, that's basically what we're trying to do. We're opening up more towards the youth. There's a lot of kids out there that kind of went into depression, went into that isolation gap. I have several parents that are bringing in their children to us, and you can tell that they're kind of scared to go out. So hopefully we've seen a change in some of their attitudes that are coming in. They're a little bit more open now, more happy. You see them come in here and express themselves, and which is good, because that means that they're liking it. That means that they can grow with it. But it's going to have some changes, and it's going to have some differences. And I think the main difference is that we have to embrace a different kind of scared. Okay. Yeah. We as martial artists and teachers in our own rights, we're always teaching people how to be afraid from bullying or being bullied and stop that. We understand that. But now there's a different type of scaredness out there. They're actually not scared of the bully. They're scared of the whole community, society. There's like a shock that they're in.
Yeah, and there's also another issue that we are facing, especially us Asian, the Asian hate, that going around the United States, not only the United States, it's going around, the whole world. I just saw a note in Canada, so also a post from Australia that they're really going on. I don't know what is this change, it's happened. It started in the United States, and then all of this big city and country follow up. It's really scared that the new racist thing is that attacking the Asian community.
And that kind of those kind of attacks have come from a certain ethnic group, and had started about 10 years ago with a knockout game.
I remember that.
Remember that?
Yep.
And since nobody put their foot down then, they have gone across the board to everybody. Now they're attacking Asians, and that needs to stop now. Period. I mean, people listen.
The saddest part is they're attacking not the young people. They're attacking the old people that cannot fight back.
And it's going to come to the point that we're going to have to start protecting those that walk in the street, unfortunately. And if it comes down to that, well, then be so.
Yes, that's going to be very hard to police, our co-Asian, because we are millions of us here in the U.S. alone. And the sad part is, we don't know who's attacking us. There's no color, or there's no ethnics, that we can pinpoint who's attacking us. At least they know who's they're attacking. They're attacking us, Asian, and that's what scared us. So I was offering a little bit of help to all of the I reached out a little bit, post here and there to Asian community that they need a little help of something to just to get something, old or young, for self-defense. We will come and give a little bit of free session, just to give them a little bit of something to protect themselves.
Absolutely. But it is a shame. It is a shame that's going on, and it's so sad that it's going on in this time and age again. And like I said, this pandemic is brought the good and is bringing out the bad in people, and that's what's scary, because now we're no longer doing things in the good, where things can occur in the bad now.
Yeah, and also you notice that communities afraid to put their hands in it. Nobody protect anymore. Nobody want to jump in and said, you know what, let me help this lady. Everybody's just watching. Instead of helping, they take their phone out and start videoing. What
Absolutely.
that video is gonna do? Nothing much. You know, it's that we lost this sense of help. You know, help our neighbors or help each other. When somebody's on trouble, bunch of guys will jump in and protect that cannot fight for themselves. Nowadays, even those people is afraid to put their hands in it because they're afraid to be attacked. You know, because they don't know how much people or how many they are on that particular area.
No, you are exactly correct. And I don't know. We're gonna have to start stepping in, and I think, you know, maybe we have to do something like what the guardian angels used to do and start protecting those communities.
I agree.
Because the police are not doing anything. I'm sorry, but let's touch base. Let's touch base on you know, what got you started into studying Eskrima.
All right. Okay. Actually, I was born, you know, into it. I was born. I wake up, you know, one day when I was baby, and I realized that I was the son of one of the famous escrimador in Laguna, which is my dad, you know. And not only that, my dad is not, you know, never heard that lost the fight. So everybody talk about him. So I heard that growing up until the time that I was learning from him, you know, and I realized that I have no choice. I have to learn it. So might as well as learn it good, because he was teaching my older brother, you know, all of us, and I'm the youngest. It's really have to come up, you know, that I have to be better than anybody else because I'm the smallest. I'm the weakest. So my strategy is really grab as much as I could from my dad and use that against my older brother, you know, and not to plan to teach anybody else. You know, I never really thought that one day I will be teaching this. I'll be probably thinking of in the future that I will be teaching it to my kids or nephew, but not to this scale, you know, level that I will teaching it to the world, you know, sharing it my family arts, which it's become controversy because somehow, you know, all of the haters come up, and I just came out from the woodworks. You know, it's like one of those mushrooms that just keep popping up, and another maestro or another grandmaster pop up. That's one of the reasons why I don't want to be called grandmaster, because they already have the assumption that I am just came out from the woodworks. You know, I'm not really certified by anybody. It's famous. Well, it's not famous over here, but it's famous in our province. My dad is very famous. He's actually a legend. My grandfather is a legend. So they're all famous in Escrimador over there. Then I studied with 12, including my dad. They're all famous Escrimador in my province. Then I gained my own popularity when I used to compete in stick fighting. When I was teaching in my town, I was embraced and supported by all Paiteño, the town, you know. So that's how I started, is from the family, and then introduced me to other maestro. My dad really talked about how good this maestro, never talk about how bad this maestro or how bad this guy fight. My dad is one of the person that I never heard negative. He always talk about positive of all of the measure instead of the negative. That's why when I start learning with them, they're telling me that why you have to learn from us, why you want to come over here and receive some bruises where your dad beat us a lot. You know, my dad said, never say anything that beating them up. But their maestro was telling us that, hey, I was beat up by your dad. But my dad said, you don't talk who you defeated with. You talk how great they are, how good fighter they are, and how good their system was. But you never put down any others. Why? Because it's like telling other that you're ugly. That's not right. Yeah. So that's the way I look at it. That's the reason why at this point of my life, I don't want to be involved with a discussion that I will lift up myself just to put down someone. Let me just promote my art without using others. You know, Guerrero Ranis or Filipino martial arts stand alone without using anybody, without using any famous people. You know, I know a lot of time when they start interviewing me, they're asking me who I learned with and who's that person who you learned with. And even though I told them I learned from my dad, they still have the follow-up question that, well, is your dad is good? Well, I would learn from him. He's not that good. He won't be famous if he's not that good. He won't be undefeated if he's not that good. And that's what I would say. But it becoming the interview is becoming attacking instead of just talking like this. So I for a while I start to put a stop on the people that want to interview me because I want to know what is the interview is going to be. It is going to be defending myself again, or
Absolutely. You see, there's a lot of people out there that do not understand, number one, history. They do not understand the history of a system or a style or where it comes from or the culture. So they have these assumptions already placed in their head. They have to do it this way because if they don't do it ABC, well, there's no way they can have done everything else because ABC was not done. But what happened if you learned AMLQST? You know what I'm saying? And you did not learn ABC. You know, so and people do not understand that. You see, that's brother, the whole, how can I say, the puzzle of fighting is there's so many different styles and systems. Let's leave that behind. But there's so many good fighters that never studied anything.
that's correct.
Never studied anything. And these guys can take most of the masters out there that have masters, and they will beat them up to a pulp, and they'll leave them in the ground.
Yep.
And so if you're a fighter and you see somebody that has good technique, you're going to try to learn from it and copy it and try to make it your own if it works.
Yep.
You know, I'm going to put this like boxing. All around the world, you go to a boxing gym and they have a jab, cross, uppercut, hook.
Everybody.
I don't care if you go to Chile or Alaska or China to Iran, you're going to learn jab, cross, uppercut, hook.
Yep.
How you put it together and how it is taught to you is a total different entity. Understand? And then you come to the United States and you have the different stylistic styles and which one's favorite. But then you have to understand that if you're a good teacher, that my uncle used to say this, I don't want to teach you to fight like me. I have to teach you to fight for you.
For you.
Yeah, I can teach you a bunch of things, but you're the one that's going to fight, not me.
That's correct.
That's correct, you know, and so that's when things change and some people are not there, you know, let's just face it. There's a lot of people out there teaching that do not even have basics teaching, do not understand basics, and they're trying to imitate some advanced move. So you're actually doing a harm but they're out there teaching and they have big names and they're doing a bunch of stuff, but they can't post a jab. And you're like,
Yeah.
okay, so you're going to be telling me that's going to work when you cannot even do a jab and a cross? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get my drift?
It's kind of scary to some of them because we watch, this is not new to everybody. Everybody's watched everyone's video. And when we see someone, when we watch someone else's video, we can see 100 ways to comment negatively.
Of
But
course.
so some of the time, we focus too much on the negative rather than the good. And that's why I always tell my student, no, regardless of style and whoever demonstrating, always watch because you can learn something from it. When you see the bad one, you can judge it if it's a bad technique. Disregards that and get the good one, and imitation is good, but always put it to the test. And, just don't just take it as is. A lot of people is take it as is, and then they try to adopt it and apply it, and it doesn't work to them because it's not personalized. Timing is wrong, angle is wrong, maybe their footwork is wrong. It's just a small differences that make it wrong. And I told that to my student all the time. I said, you cannot. And I always tell them 100% at a time, regardless of who we're demonstrating. Even Daniel Inosanto, even Leo Guy, even anybody's grandmaster. I can see 100 negative way to comment on them. But the only is important is comment the 1% or maybe 2% that's good on that video. And that's give them encouraged to continue.
Because there's a lot of times you're demonstrating or you're showing something for something else, for a different purpose. And it's already on the video. And then people think that it's for something else, assumption. They assume it's for this. Well, they're just might be telling the guy just to keep your hands up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's it. And they can do a bunch of other things in there. Oh, look at what he's doing. And it comes out that way. The negativity stuff.
Yeah.
And usually the negative remarks are from students that you either told them to stop coming from school for some reason, okay? Or somebody that could not get rank because it did not have the technique to get a rank, and they leave the school. So you become public enemy number one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I tell folks this. I go, the only ones that talk bad about me are the ones that have left. And I'm going to tell you why most of them leave. Most of them leave because all of a sudden, you have to pay tuition.
Yeah.
They come 2-3 months.
Yeah.
They have a flat tire. You tell them it's okay, pay me later. Or the car wrecked, or the cat died, or the tree fell on the house, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And you tell them it's okay, pay me later, or pay me in installments. By the time you know it, they have incurred a little debt.
Yeah.
And they say, I'm not going to pay it. They leave.
Yeah.
And and if they would have come up to you and said, you know what, Profe or God, what, can you help us out? More likely, we're going to say, yeah, don't worry about it. Start cleaning out, pass out some flyers, do whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you became the enemy. Oh, he doesn't like me. He's this, he's that. And you're like,
I have one way to my class. If they leave and they don't show up, I don't call, because it's not my responsibility to call them back. They left for one reason, and whatever reason they left, keep that to themselves. I don't want to hear it.
yeah. And I don't accept students that come in to the school and they say, I could have been a black belt at that other school, but it was politics. Like, when is it politics for you to get a black belt? And then you tell, and it's there's, and then you say in the back is he's already talking bad about that instructor.
Think about you.
He's gonna be talking bad about me in the next 2 months, So I tell him, no, I don't come here, And I'm the guy that says I'll accept any martial art from everybody else. I said, if he's a good person, come on in,
Yeah.
learn. But there used to be, when I first started, there used to be protocols, the martial art down to school. And, if you get one of his students, you call him up or you say, go tell their teacher that you're going to come over here. You didn't want any bad blood, And now those protocols are not even around anymore. Nobody follows.
No, nobody follow them. It's one way, I think what's happened is they get used to this. A lot of class now, a lot of martial art is available through YouTube, through a social media, and they become so cheap, and they don't want a live instructor anymore. They just, I can get that for free. Oh, I want this, I can get that for free. And those only people that have the desire to have lineage. That's how they're trying to reach out. Especially nowadays, that Zoom has become, or this online classes become the new things for all martial art. But me, I still put my traditional. You have to send me a bio, and if I like what I read, and then I'll give you a break. I'll accept you for a while, and then I'll observe. The Zoom, how you react, how you reacted with me to my comment, how you reacted to the lesson, and some, and I always open it. I told them that, hey, if you don't show up to that Zoom anymore, I would never message you again. You have to come. You have to send me the video that you are working in order for you to be recognized that you're working. Yeah, you pay me is not enough, because money is not that important to me. The most important to me is you personally want to learn from me, and why the money has to work in it. No, I said, money is only just a tools to get in. It's one sort of a responsibility, but that is only 20% responsibility. The 80% responsibility has to come to you working on the program.
You're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct, because students come into the school and they say, well, I'm coming to your school, I should already know how to fight. Yeah. I'm gonna teach you. I'm gonna teach you skills that can produce you into a fighter, but the one that's gonna have to fight is you, unfortunately. And if you're gonna go into the ring, as per se, I've been in the ring, at one particular time I was third in the world. I blew my hand in an accident. You can see the scars. I had 11 reconstructive surgeries, never went for the title. That doesn't mean I didn't feel somebody trying to take my head off, or vice versa. I mean, I know what that is. Yeah. And we taught many people, but when you look at some of the issues with folks out there, is only because you think the style is a fighting style, and you're just coming in there once or twice a week for class. That's not enough for you to go out there and think that you're going to be able to do diddly squat with it. You have to put in your time.
That's correct.
And and now you get guys that come in and they say, would you teach me to go to inside the ring? I've been training in so-and-so boxing gym or kickboxing school and blah, blah, blah. And I want you to take me to the ring. I tell them, number one, right now, I'm not taking anybody to the ring. I haven't in 15 years. Number one, I don't have the space. I don't have a ring. Can I teach you? Yes, I can. If you really want competition, I will send you to a boxing gym that's doing that right now. And they're great individuals that teach great here in town. Please go over there if that's what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to learn the essence of it, and maybe I see that you really have it, and you can convince me of you have it, I'll take you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But until that happens, you have to put in your time.
That's correct.
If not, I'm gonna send you to a gym down the street.
I have also the I'm sometimes I'm bad. It's not all the time. Sometimes I let go people, but to the other people that I cannot let go, I pick up a stick and I give them the stick and said, okay, let's show
Try
me.
me out.
Yeah, show. I mean, it's not because you're that good. I want to see it. And I'm not afraid to have bruises because I've been there, done that. I'm afraid that this guy is gonna ruin my my group by I'm putting a bad apple to my group. So right away I weed it out because if you get to my group is all down to earth, but they doesn't mean that they won't fight you back.
And I know one of your crews, Cesar, well, they're a good friend of mine and great individual. And we talk back and forth. And I know the pandemic's been separating everybody, but they're just good people. And there's a couple of other ones. One thing I don't like drugs. Okay, I don't like that.
Thank you.
So when even from my old days in Irving, if I knew that you were doing drugs, so you came in here smelling like pot, well, guess what? You're gonna go out the door. You're not gonna come back.
That's
Period.
no.
That's a no because guess what? One of those guys can ruin the whole school. And I kicked out a bunch of them when I came back to Laredo. The school here was going. There was a couple of guys, they thought they were knock-around guys, but they weren't knock-around guys. They were just guys that, kind of street guys. And there weren't any knock-around guys whatsoever. They wanted to become. That's why they were coming to the school. But what happened was that you find out they're doing drugs. You know what? Get out of here. And all of a sudden, the professor's an asshole. And to the day you see them post stuff, and you're like, and one of them, I told him, why don't you tell them why I kicked you out of the school?
They're afraid.
Why don't you tell them about me bailing you out of jail, not because you got in a fight, but because you were pushing drugs. Tell them that.
Yes.
Okay? Tell them that.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Bunda, that's what happens. But let's touch base on something positive, because I know that. Let's touch base. So, you were doing some carving and you were doing some blades, and let's talk about that part of the history.
I'm my town is called Paete, Laguna. It's named after the chisel, a carving chisel, because from years, 100 years before the Spanish arrived, our town is already a wood carving town. And when the Spanish arrived in the Philippines, in my town on 1580, they found a group of people that good artisan. So they call us, a reincarnation of all of the famous sculptor in Europe, like Michelangelo and all of those. In fact, I have some carving, some of the carvings that I've done on my scabbard. It's only, this is new. This is I call this very basic compared to what all of the artists in my town can do. It's really, I have not really thought about it when I was learning it, because I was learning it from the young age. I mean, at age 10, I start already carving. Because you see it daily. When you wake up, the time you wake up, you see my brother's carving, and by the time we go to sleep, I heard people, tick tack, right, the whole town. And you will go to town called Paete, Laguna, which is the capital carving of the Philippines. It was announced by the President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. I think it's the 1998. And it's just common to us. Plus that's why I came here to United States. It's because of that. Not on the wood. It's the ice carving and fruit and vegetable carving. That's how I started to come. When I work in the hotel back in Manila on 1984, 85. I was trained by my friends, in the ice carving and fruit and vegetable carving. Then at the same time, I learned the little cooking, and that's how I get into United States. Work in the cruise line, start teaching others, under my wings, and then I met my wife through a friends, that I work with in the cruise ship, and get married and able to come here to United States as legal aliens. Oh. So the carving is actually one of our jewels in our town. If we are 15,000 people over there, let's say that 15% of those is male, all of those is artisan. That's 15,000, that's 7,000. If that's, example only, if we are 15,000 in the town, 7,500 of those is male that do are good artists, and woman that's finishing, just sanding and varnishing, so that's our selling. That's the thing. And up to this day, I always invite everybody to come to my town, because support my town. Especially you can actually order and mail it to you, the order. Now they're doing that. So hopefully in the future, I could start doing that for all of the all martial art. Whatever carving you want to do, I would give you guys a quote of how much it'll take, and then we'll talk from there, because it's like, what size, what figure, whose figure. Let's say your instructor, you want your instructor boss who does in wood, then we have specific people that can copy exactly as replica of you. Me, I'm not that level yet, but I can carve. It's like I said, what you can see to what I can do, it looks good on you, but it's not to the level that I can copy someone's face, because
Right.
they're specific on that.
Absolutely. And you've shown some wonderful work. You were doing some stuff that was some
Shield.
some shields. Remember?
Yeah.
You were doing some shields, and
Yeah.
if you have one, show us. If you have one
Oh
around.
yeah, there's one right here, and I'll bring my replica. This is what my latest is. And this is just a sample of what look like the shield is. You see, this is
That's
the
nice.
this is not ornate yet, but this is the one that I put it on my. I made one of look like lapu-lapu, but it's not lapu-lapu. It's actually the chieftain of my province, which is Gat Puno. I have them in here. I'll bring it later on, but I want to show you the shield. This is just a sample. Okay, man. And this is the latest that I work. I did see if everybody can see it. Look,
That's nice.
so those is the 3 people doing sinawali, double stick. One is in the front, and 2 people is doing it in the back. So, and that's a 3D. Yeah. It's one piece of wood.
That's beautiful work. That's beautiful work.
And you can see the details on the face and everything else. You see, if you see the face right there, expression of the fighters and everything else. So there's a lot of things that I would like to, but like I said, there's a lot more that better than me. I'm elementary compared to these people. But I'm proud to what I can do. It's like I said, I'm not the best, but I'm trying to use it, the talent that I have as much as I could to promote my town. because
Absolutely.
I'm getting there.
It's wonderful work. It's wonderful work that you have, you know.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
and it's wonderful work. And I've never carved. I've worked on clay sculptures and stuff like that, and I paint every so often. I grew up with that. You know, my mom was a major in art and also taught. And as a little kid, I was you know, given an easel, and I was teaching. Well, not teaching while they were teaching in the universities. I was down there painting alongside the people. So you know, carving is, to me, is an art that is very special, and it takes a lot of talent. My brother, you got that.
And there's a lot, you know, once in a while, not as common anymore, but I still have few catering people that came here to the house and asked me to carve. It's like, you know, something that I always, you see.
Well, that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah, this
That's
you
nice.
know, it's
And
a
as
lot
chef,
of time.
And as a chef, I can appreciate all the garnishing. That is beautiful. You know, and that takes talent. Not everybody does it. Not every chef can do that. Not all executive chefs can do that.
This is the butternut squash.
Yep.
So those kind, you know, but like I said, you know, you understand the hard work we do in the kitchen.
No, and I've seen ice carvings, and I couldn't do that, or cheese carvings. There was a pastry chef in Dallas. His name was Eric, and they send them up to Wisconsin to the cheese factories over there, okay, to learn cheese carvings. And he came back down, and all he did was cheese carvings for all the different banquets that we did in the catering. And he had some talent, you know, and you're like, geez, you know, this is beautiful, you know, because now, and it was just gorgeous work, you know. Tell me to cook. Tell me to cook. Tell me to cook. Tell me how to do that, and tell me how to saucier and everything else, and we'll get it going. But to actually garnish the way they garnish it.
Yeah, it's you know, I started as that, but I got develop interest in cooking when I was in the cruise ship, you know, because I worked with a lot of French chef, you know, a lot of French, German, Italian, you know, when I first started English. So when I was working in Manila, I don't work them long. So I get my basic in Manila, and then when I work in the ship for 3 years, I concentrate myself after work. After I finish my job, I go to the saucier and I learn the major, you know, sauces, all of the mother sauces. I learn it, and then all of the variants of it. Then I start talking to all of the executive chef, and I told them that I'm really interested to learn. But because of the talent that I have, that I'm very good in cold kitchen and all of the garnish that I do, they cannot pull me away from the gourmandise, you know, just for me to learn hot food. So what I do, I told them, I give them the suggestion that I say, okay, I will do the job as the gourmandise chef, but after my job is covered, could you please, you know, be an hour to 2 hours in the hot kitchen so I could learn something? And that's what I did for 3 years. And then when I came down here to when I came down here to land, when I got married to my wife, I was hired also as a pantryman in a hotel in downtown Miami, in the gourmet restaurant. I work at night, 3 to 11. And on that point, you know, when you are preparing, because your service, you're coming at 3 o'clock, your service is started at 6:30 or 7 o'clock. So I have 4 hours window to prep. But that 4 hours window, I can do my prep in an hour and a half. And then the rest, I'm helping the chef preparing for hot food prep and learning one sauce at a time. And that experience build my confidence. And then after 20 years of experience, actually, I was hired by Le Cordon Bleu to teach as a culinary instructor. I passed every test that they give it to me. I even took a executive certified executive chef test through American Culinary Federation, and I passed that too. So, because of the help of every chef that I work. I don't went to a traditional school, like I said. I went through apprenticeship program, and that apprenticeship program is because of me, not because of somebody put me there. I begged.
You know, I did both. I did the apprenticeship and I went to culinary school, and you learn more on the field under those chefs. I used to go to certain chefs and I used to tell them, you know what, don't pay me, but I'll come here and I'll work on Saturdays when I have off or when I have off, and I'll work for you, but you have to teach me. And they'll look down, up and down, and okay. And then they used to see me there, and then they'll say, you know, I'm here, I'm going to be here for 2 months.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be learning. Then I'm leaving. And they'll say, why are you leaving? You know, without you, we can't do. Well, that's, you know. And I became very good friends with many chefs in Dallas. Some of them are still there. You know, pastry to me is something that I just kind of, I understand it, I do it, but I just kind of leave it alone. There's other people that can do that. And when you have a restaurant, and I had restaurants, and when you have a restaurant, you can't be doing everything.
Yeah.
You have to stop and say, you know what? It's better for me to get that pastry chef and pay him to do the pastries and bring them here than for me to spend another 4 hours doing them.
Yeah. Delegate.
You know? And
I have no choice. When I was as soon as they hired me in the kitchen, they realized that I am quick on decorating anything. I can decorate a cake, no big deal. I can make a marzipan. All of this artistic looks, you know, to a cake, but I cannot bake a cake at that time. But you give me the sponge cake, you know, the fondue and everything else, and I'll make it beautiful. Because I was trained kitchen artist. I do blow sugar. I do marzipan arts and all of this chocolate carvings and chocolate sculpture. You know, and I don't realize it that it's very essential when you are work in the whole industry that the pastry chef is not the skilled artist. It's just a good baker, a good pastry thing. So I become very, very, very lovable by a lot of pastry chefs. You know, so I never tell my wife that I can bake a cake, boy, because it's time consuming.
Every birthday, and from not only from your family but all the neighborhood is gonna have you making a cake.
Yeah. So right now I'm alone. Sometimes, you know, I said, you know what, let me start, you know, I miss it. I miss all of the drama, you know, we call it drama in the kitchen.
Yeah, no, I tell people,
not negative drama, okay?
You're exactly right.
I need the adrenaline rush.
You want to get an adrenaline rush better than a fight? Go to the kitchen. Learn
That's
that.
right. Oh,
you want to learn new cuss words in different languages? Go to the kitchen. You're going to learn the language.
You in the kitchen, you learn how to fight differently.
Yep. And you know, and if you have your own station and you're good at it, and people under that, you're now all of a sudden you start not only doing your station, you're helping others around there.
Yeah, but my pond start when I start learning butcher, you know, the publication. When I start fabricating meat and fish and seafood, that's I love to do. Why? Because I'm a fisherman, and you know, I was a farmer all my life. It's like I said, but when I learned fabrication of any animal, I said I can use this anywhere I go. You know, nobody can tell me that, hey, you know, get me a steak. Oh, which steak you like? I'll give it to you. You know, to the whole cow. I love it. You know, so much. You know, I would like to put my hands in it all the time, but I start hating it on 2001 when I opened the hotel, and 3 butcher quit on us. And as a government chef, you know, butcher is under my supervision. as a chef. So the 3 butchers quit on us. We are 2 months away from the opening of the hotel, and we don't buy portion, control, meat and seafood. So I have to do it every day from 5. The thing I like it, but after 6 months, my hands got a little, allergy because of the blood, different, blood of the meat, and then you have the seafoods, everything else. But I love that. I love the art of butchery.
Of course, butchery to me, I did one in a meat packing plant in Fort Worth, Texas, and my chef says you better go over there, and I did an apprenticeship there for exactly 3 months.
Wow, that must be
And
nice.
I used to get there at 11 o'clock at night and leave at 5 o'clock in the morning, then drive back home, 30 miles,
Nice.
And then work out, teach, take a shower, sleep for about 2 hours, and go to class for 2.5 hours. And that's the way it was. And they understood there when I was going to school that I was going to be out a good portion because of that. And they had no objections. But you learn a lot with butchery. I'm a hunter.
I saw that. I saw some of your. I saw your photo.
Yeah. And
Great.
so I butcher everything. I field dress my animals. So when I tell people about knives and stuff like that, and I look at them coming into that, and me being a butcher on this sense, and I understand how it cuts, you're like, that's not going to work.
No.
Let me tell you what will work. So it makes a different perspective once you have a blade, exactly what it is, and if you've never field dressed an animal, and this goes out to all the martial artists out there that are teaching knives, if you've never field dressed an animal, not just once, talking about hundreds of animals, because we used to have a game ranch, and you can't butcher, dress, cut it, quarter like this.
Yeah.
You're gonna tell me you're gonna do that with a knife? How are you gonna do what? You're lying to yourself. Learn butchery. I'm serious. I mean, people, think that they're gonna do these cuts, and you're like, okay.
Yeah. I have 20 different blades from size and different sizes that hanging on my magnet when I was the butcher, and every single one of them is different. And every day I have to sharpen them before I even start my cutting. Make sure that all on point, because that's one thing that as a butcher, how to sharpen your blade first. As a chef, we could only, we could get by to 1-2 chef knife and 1 paring knife, but as a butcher, you can't. You have to have your hacker. You have to have your fillet blade. You have to have your slicer. You have to have your boning knife. But they don't understand this.
One thing I started collecting, brother, is the old butchery hog cutter blades, big old cleavers.
Yeah, the cleaver.
And I have a couple of them that are from the 1800s, early 1900s.
Wow.
And they're in boxes. My wife says, what do you want all this stuff for? Just leave it. One day I'm going to use it for something. But when you start looking at those things, a cleaver that's that big, wide, you know what I'm saying? That would cut a half of a pig.
That's right.
You have to understand, and you have to. It's how can I put it? It's not strength or speed or power. It's actually technique when you start cutting.
Yeah.
The funniest thing, I'm not going to mention the name, but we were at the ranch and we had killed a pig. Okay. And the pig's hanging on two, I had already skinned it. And he pulls out this barong that he had bought from a knife fighter, from a person that makes knives. Okay.
Yeah.
And he goes, this barong, I'm gonna swing it, and it's gonna cut the shank or the lower part of the hog.
The hot.
And we're all in the back. You know, my father was there. We're all in the back, and it cost me $400 and this and this and this and that, and it's supposed to be great steel this and blah blah blah, and he goes, you know, he swings back and he takes a swing at that hanging leg, you know, and part of the barong goes falls right off. And my dad goes, well, how much did you pay for it? And he just kind of looked at it. And I go, and then we had a helper there that used to have, he you know, he was from Mexico and he used to help us out around. And he lived in the little town and he used to always be there. And he started laughing and he pulled out this machete, you know, that he had from Mexico. The thing was ugly, the ugliest knife I had ever seen. Had tape on the handle.
The handle.
And he goes up there and goes, Soop! And he just cuts it right through. And he walks off. And the guy was like, but mine cost, you know, $550. But $550, you know, it's technique.
Technique. Yeah, my favorites is when I brought my knife, you know, because some of the knife cannot cut the. I was fabricating a goat, and the cleaver that I have, you know, is not heavy enough to chop through the shank. You know, I used to do the saw, you know, just to get through the bigger shank. So I brought this one. This is my brother made this for me. This is one of the blade look like that. See it? It's about
That's nice.
Yeah, this is knife, and this is 2001. He made this to me in 90s. So I brought this to work, and I put it right here, and I just went through with this to my fabrication. I have to fabricate 6 of the goat because we're having a party, and you cannot buy the portion goat. So I have to use this, and I'm afraid to use the saw, just, you know, because it's a pressed meat. You know, I use saw when it's frozen meat. You know, I'm still use some of the pressed meat cutting in the saw, but as long as the bones is big enough. But if it's small, it's, you know, it will roll into the saw. So that's why I need the cleaver. And that cleaver, I bought a cleaver in 2003 in Germany, a saw engine cleaver this big, and that one doesn't work. It's just break the bones, you know. And you cannot serve a broken bones, you know, when you make it this, because it's, you know, when you cook them and everything is pointy, that's dangerous to the people that's gonna eat them. So you have to cut it clean cut. So when you serve them, it doesn't danger the people that are gonna eat them. These people doesn't understand that. They thought it's just chop it up, it's okay. I said, no. To serve the food, you have to think also of the safety of the people that you're serving.
Absolutely. 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 A point well made. A point well made. You know, so that's why, you know, like I said, like you said earlier before on the thing and commenting on the videos, we can see a lot of mistakes, and we can comment many wrongs. And sometimes you don't want to express a dangerous mistake to somebody because all of a sudden you've got an enemy now because they think that you're insulting them. So
that's what happened.
When I see a lot of videos out there, you know, I just put thumbs up or not comment at all, you know, because there's a lot of things that you don't understand what is going in their mind or what they're trying to teach. What is exactly trying to teach? They can be teaching 50, there might be 30 mistakes, but that one thing that they're trying to teach the student is not the mistake. You know what? And project. And so we have to be very cautious there because we have a lot of people that have their feelings hurt real quick, you know, and in this business, because I'm going to say martial arts as a business, we have to have that type of banter and laugh, you know. They're going to call us names or else, and we have to laugh because we're in here because more likely they were calling us names, and we were getting in a fight left and right. So we now have to brush up all those names. Have kind of a cold skin. You know what I mean? Kind of like, okay, brush it off. So to me, I think that's what it is. But
it's sad though.
yeah, it's sad. It's sad. It's sad, and it's sad. And hopefully we get you out here one time. We have to do that. We have to plan. Now let's see what's going to happen with this pandemic stuff.
Okay, that's a very good idea.
You know, Texas,
Yeah, I would love
just
to.
opened up. I know Florida's opened up. So
Yeah.
let's see what's going to happen. Other states should start following. And let's, you know, folks out there, support your martial arts schools. You know that,
Yeah.
because one day you're going to go back and they're not going to be there.
Yeah, yeah. Just to finish it up, you know, I would like to just walk through you a little bit. This is my brother made this for me on in Saudi Arabia. This is a long, you know, dahon palay. You know, I made this cupboard. As you can see, it's more ornate and carved. Look at that. But this is my brother made, and this is fiberglass, the handle. So he has three. He made me three, and then there's another one right here. He also made it for me. I love every single one that he made. This one,
That
the
is
cover,
nice.
he made it. And this is the shape of this is the sinuto lang, which is a shrimp like you know, head. Yeah, and that is really,
That's a nice blade.
yeah. This is a beautiful, perfect to my arm. See it? Yeah, look right on my arm. That's thing. This is the, and then the third one that I show. Then the rest is all. This is my original blade of my father that I refurbished when I came home. I made the scabbard because the scabbard is really broken. You know, imagine this is 100 years blade. So I refurbished them, so looks new. But the one who refurbished is the original maker, and he changed the handle, to a white carabao horn. You know, that's why it looks new. But this is an old blade of my dad. Then he made me 3 of the replica, but I've been using it. You know, I've been using it to the things already. 3 of
That's
the
nice.
replica.
What do you call
This is
that blade?
The blade we call is dahon buho, or you know, the bamboo shaped lip. See, this is his original scabbard. This is how the famous Luis Panday of time, he's already died, but my brother learned from the old man. And this is look alike like this. All of them is look alike like this, with the leather and everything else. And then the famous national wood of the Philippines called Nara. Just look like you know, things up. And here we go, very light. Look how thin there is. Yeah, and the blade is awesome. You know, and this is the last one is the small one. This is the small one. Look, it's the reason why I asked them to make me a small one, because when I was a kid, I have one exactly like this until I was 10, and then after 10 they give me the regular size. So I want to have one that when I was a kid, and then I have the regular thing. Then a friend of mine made me another one. This is the same as what my brother made, the sinuto lang, which is original blade of Andres Bonifacio, which is tomorrow is going to be his birthday. You know, so right here. Oh no, tomorrow is going to be the Katipunan things. And this is beautiful handle. All of this, I'm just happy that, you know, I'm able to acquire them and bring them over here.
Absolutely.
Now, my purpose is, my brother, I'm pushing my brother to replicate all of this blade so it could be available to everybody. And hopefully
Absolutely.
it will work. You know, and
Absolutely.
I made my own design. This is my design. I copied exactly the same of the blade, but I put a little bit of a carve right here with the teeth. So for the for cutting a rope easily. And this is what it's gonna be look like. This is not light. This is just aluminum, and I made the scabbard and everything else with carb. And I use this for demo. There's two of them. This is the original one that I made. That's made of wood handle, and it's the same. See, and this is the, and hopefully my brother can replicate them and be available to all of my students and those people that want to acquire a blade. But now is I'm searching for more kampilan. You know, I love kampilan. I have acquired four beautiful state-of-the-art kampilan from the Philippines before they banned. You know, you cannot get it anymore. You know, they banned it, that you can get all of it, because a lot of people is going over there, buying it and taking all of the what they call that, national treasure,
Historical.
historical natural treasure of the Philippines. And this is made out of bamboo horn, carabao horn, the handle. This is rare, carabao handle. All of the pommel is carabao handle, and with the beautiful, intricate blade and well balanced. I could use it on single-handed, and I could use it double-handed. But I want to complete them as 12. I got lucky with 4, but I'm still looking forward to acquire it. Hopefully in the near future. Hopefully the new president will open up.
If you buy one here in the States, what are you looking for in the price for that?
Someone is trying to buy this from me. 4 of them for $1,000 a piece, and I'm not because according to Amaguru Rapi Pambuan, this probably gonna cost them already between $5,000 to $7,000. This type of quality. The rest, this is the datu. The only way you know that this datu is because there's hair. You know, the only way you know is the datu is with have hair. If there's no hair, it's used by the their knights. You know, those panglima. You know, those 5 people that's next to the datu. But the datu, this one, I got lucky with one. Beautiful. This is horse hair. You know, there's a story that before they used the opponent's hair, they put in there. That's why you see it's dark, because their opponent's hair they collected and they put it on the blade. But this one, since the datu is not primary a fighter, they use this to their procession, and this is used by the datu, which is decorated by the horse hair. This is ivory, natural, really teeth of the animal, of bones, and the same intricate design. And this is single-handed only. Look, single-hand, because you can use double, but this is lighter than the first one that I showed. It's a beautiful artistic. You see that how they made them, ivory. And this one,
that's a beautiful sword. I have one here. You can't see it from here, but I'll show you later. Yeah. And it's actually from Borneo.
Oh yeah.
And it's that one, and that one has human hair on the handle.
Yeah, that's what they said. That the human hair was collected to the people that they killed, and then they put it on the weapon. But because it's like that's what there's weight over here. See, there's hole, and they leave it whole. So every time they kill somebody, they peeled one of the hole of the human hair. And then usually this one, the bandana that it's like when you kill somebody that have bandana, that's what they put it right here. Usually this one comes with the bandana right here. I'm gonna show it to you how it's they go right here. So when you hold them, the bandana is wrapped around the hand, so you won't lose the weapon, in one single blow. You get hit in the hand, you're still there holding it. So that's what they use. And to protect the handles, that's the reason why of those. This is a beautiful arts, beautiful masterpiece of Panday, with the guard, with the knuckle guard and everything, the hilts and everything else. And again, look at the art from that
Beautiful.
handle.
From that area.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's beautiful. So I was happy to have 4 of them, and of course I have many blades. I just pull few for you guys to see. I love blades so much, and my wife has said that hey, you don't have enough. I said, well, never gonna be enough, right? Especially us chef. I mean, how many? I would ask you this: how many chef knives you have?
How many chef knives I have? Oh, man. I got chef knives that are $5 all the way up to probably most expensive about $1,200.
Yeah.
1,200.
I have 4 what they call that, craftsman. I have 1 2-piece full of those knives. I have 1 traveling, that the 3 layer, and I have 1 bag, and then I have what I have in the kitchen. This is my travel bag.
Yeah, I have 3 of those already ready to go, and they're always home.
Yeah, they're always, every time I grab, I said, okay, I have to go to do some work. I just grab this one, and I have my business engraved writing in it, artistic carving.
And that's the way it is, and every once a month, I pull them out, sharpen them up, put them back in, oil them up. They're rolled up, ready to go in case. And then I have the ones for work, and then I have the ones that work kind of play, and then I have the ones there for the house, and then I have the ones that my kids and my wife can use. You can't touch these knives. Don't touch these knives, because believe me, I had one of my favorite knives was used as a can opener.
Oh.
And so I was like,
but
yeah.
One thing that I can share is, it relaxes me every time I clean and shave them or sharpen them. It relaxes me. It's not. I never look at it as a work. I look at it as really a time for myself. So every time I sharpen my blade, I'm sewn to that blade and me. And the same thing as when I do martial art. I don't care if my wife is calling me. I don't turn around unless I'm finished to what I'm talking. What I'm being teach. So when you're sewn to teach, you're so focused. You don't you put the horse, what they call that, the one that they put to the horse.
Yeah.
Narrow, and then
you're just moving forward. I tell folks this, because I had one guy tell me, "Oh, you're not serious. You're always joking." I go, "I'm teaching you how to beat up somebody. You have to have some jokes in between."
That's
because
correct.
Literally, this is you have to have fun doing this, because if you're not having fun, then what's it for? Okay.
Yep.
Literally, you're teaching here. If you're coming here, you're going to learn how to pummel somebody to the ground.
Yeah.
And walk off. If it's your lucky day, and if it's not your lucky day, you're going to walk off with a couple of bruises and some cuts in the face, maybe. But the guy's still going to be in the ground.
Yeah.
What I'm saying? So
Yep.
when people say, it's not a hobby. This is not a hobby. So I think that's what separates, because a lot of going back to the pandemic, a lot of martial arts schools and a lot of our associates, they had to make a living, and they were teaching to the masses, and the masses think of martial arts as a hobby.
Yeah.
Okay, they could care less what they're learning.
Yeah.
In all actuality,
that's true. That's true. So in that note, things is, it's very, very good. Very good time to talk to you again. and hopefully this is not the last time or the second time, because this is our second.
We'll continue doing it. You know, the thing is, everything came of age when we started the podcast. It was we went through different until finally one day, the former editor just tells me, I'm going to move to Las Vegas. Go find yourself another place.
Wow.
And I'm like, I go, you know, I told him, you're selling advertisement for my podcast. I said, you're making money on this. I'm going to call all these people and I'm going to tell them that you're leaving, that it's not me.
Yeah.
You know, because it's my name that's going to be looked at bad. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I called them all up and I told them, you know what? I'm going to continue doing the podcast. Would you bear with me? We will make this great back and just give me a month and we'll be back again because, you know, it's my name that's on here. And we continued. And we're just doing it out of the school.
And those of you, just to finish it out, those of you that are interested to visit our facility in different places, just message us. We are the Remote Attorneys Training International, and I'm the head of the system. I found the system in 1989, and we have different instructor in different state. And we are not big, but we are enough to reach your pleasure. You know, we would try to share the art as much as we could, and we are a positive people. So see us, you know, visit us, and we will embrace you as friend and brother in martial art.
Absolutely.
Everybody, again, thank you again for inviting me, and hopefully
be safe. You all stay safe. Your guys out there in Florida, the guys out here in San Antonio, stay safe. I will call Cesar and I'll tell him, Cesar, let's get this going because in September we will have the 2001 Texas Stick Fighting Championships. Hopefully we can get this going.
Hopefully I can time it and I could be there.
Let's just make this happen. Last year we couldn't happen. I know it's some good work and people need to do it. And we need to actually do an American Stick Fighting Championship. And those that want to come in participate, that's why it's called the Gentlemen Stick Fighting Coalition. We're under one rules. Everybody shakes hands, high fives each other, and that's the way it is. You know, who cares where everybody comes in, and it's open to all styles. You know.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Just come on over. You know, but we'll have some good fun. All right. You be safe. Keep on doing what you're doing.
Thank you, and I'll see you again soon.
Peace.
Today, in America, more than 5.5 million men, women, and children train in a martial art regularly. Buitron Academy has been serving Laredo for over 30 years now. Our adult classes are geared for producing the best in you, teaching you street-ready techniques. With the arts of Savate and Kinpo, you'll learn the traditions of these sciences of combat as passed down professor to student.
Bonjour, friends of Professor Buitrón. The COVID-19 scare is almost over. Be sure to bring the kids back to the professor's training and help them build their bodies, self-respect, self-confidence, and self-defense. The professor is a very competent and amazing man of several talents, aside from being a lovable teddy bear and a funny man. Get back to the studios. This is Sam Booth calling from Phoenix, Arizona. Have a great training. Bye for now.
Hello, my name is Manuel Lozano. I've been trained in the martial arts for close to 50 years. I trained in many martial arts from different masters and grandmasters throughout the years, from the 70s all the way to now. I've known Professeur Buitrón for about 30 years. He has done the same, trained in many different arts with many masters. He's traveled all over France, studying with surviving Salat grandmasters, did his research. This man not just knows the fighting techniques and the art, but the philosophy, the history and the strategy and applying this arts combined with all the other arts. So this man is a wealth of knowledge for anyone seeking instruction in real martial arts and street martial arts. This is the school to go to in Laredo, Texas. For those of you who are away from Laredo, this is the guy to look for. Okay, he's very well versed in all the fighting styles of the different arts he is trained in, and would highly recommend the school.
Hi, this is Mike Lackery of San Antonio, Texas, home of CMOC and the Wing Chun Boxing Academy. I'm here to tell you about my good friend Paul Buitron. He is reopening his school in Laredo, Texas. Paul is a wealth of knowledge. I've known him a long time. I highly suggest everybody in that area get with it. Go down there and train. Times are getting tough here. And with this COVID-19, we need to support local business. So I highly suggest go see Paul Buitron at the Don Zaruru Sabat Academy in Laredo, Texas. You will not regret it. Be good.
Come train at the best kept secret of Laredo. Give us a call for your free evaluation at 956-401-4868 or check out our website at savat.biz. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook.